Excuse me, sir? Excuse me? Don't you know who I am? Friends, with grocery prices climbing and schedules getting more and more busy, it can be really hard to come up with good, kid-friendly budget meals. So today I am bringing you 5 easy, fast, $5 dinners and a $5 dessert, because if you're like me, you like to finish the night with a little something sweet. So without further ado, let's get cooking. Oh, but there's still time to hit the thumbs up button, so do that. And if you want to see any other shenanigans, subscribe and we can hang out a little bit more. Okay, now let's start cooking. For our loaded baked potato dinner, I'm doing a family of 6, so I have 6 potatoes. Now, the cost of the potatoes and the cheese do add up to more than $5. However, I will use the remainder of the potatoes and the remainder of the cheese in a different dish. So I'm gonna take my 6 potatoes on a baking sheet. I'm doing mine in the oven because I'm assuming people don't have extra cooking tools like an Instant Pot or things like that. You can do this in the microwave as well. So I'm gonna prick at all the potatoes with a fork so they don't explode. If you've ever had that happen, let us know down below. You could, of course, do a loaded baked potato any way you want. You could do butter, sour cream, broccoli, cheese sauce, but we are a big fan of chili and cheese, almost like chili cheese fries, but on a baked potato. Did I say my onion is preheating at 350? Because it is. On top of my potatoes, I will do a drizzle of oil. Do olive oil, this is avocado oil. Generously season with salt and pepper. I did scrub these potatoes really, really well, so you can eat the skins also. And these will go into a 350-degree oven for 45 to 60 minutes, depending on the size of your potatoes and your oven. Just gonna rub all of my seasonings in right here. The foil just makes for easy cleanup afterwards. And you can absolutely get potatoes cheaper than I purchased them today, but I just got them at Walmart instead of waiting for a sale. Okay, here we go, into the oven. Okay, I wanna show you how to floof the potato for your toppings, okay? So I had just a butter knife, and you take the edges and you mush them towards each other. Like that, and it makes them floofy. That's how restaurants do it. And you're gonna top it with your chili, however much you want. I like a lot. And your cheese. This is one of the best things ever. Kid tested, kid approved. And yeah, you can eat the skin. For my pasta and sauce, I am going to add some sausage. I had this Jimmy Dean sausage in my freezer, but the Walmart original brand of pork sausage, it's about $2.38 a roll, is a great substitute. I think the taste is there. I'm just going to use what I already had instead of purchasing new ingredients. And if you want to even go further on the budget, you can cut this in half. You don't have to use the entire pound, but you can. Man, I love that sizzle. It's like they're cheering for me. And in this pot over here, I have some water coming up to a boil. My favorite way to break up the ground meat is my meat masher. I got this one from the Dollar Tree. But if you can't find one at your Dollar Tree, I will link one from Amazon down below. It's a few dollars extra. But this is one of my favorite kitchen tools. I use it all the time. Oh, so splashy. I'm using this rigatoni. You can use whatever shape you like. I did just see the American Beauty brand of pasta on sale for 88 cents a pound, which is unmatched. This one's from Walmart. You can get this one too, or you can pick some up on sale. I just used this one because it was in my pantry already. Once again, don't want to buy extras for this challenge, just trying to use up what I have. So this is kind of a pantry clean out as well, but pasta is very inexpensive. You could even run to Dollar Tree. They have 20 ounces of pasta for $1.25. Now that my sausage is totally cooked, my pasta's boiling away over here, I'm gonna grab a can of sauce. You can, of course, make your own or pick whatever quality of sauce that you like. You can get very expensive, get the Rao's sauce. This Prego one I got on major sale for about $1. If you can't find anything on sale, the Hunt's brand is very inexpensive at Walmart. And if you have a hard time getting the seal open, this is my little hack for you. I like to crack it lightly on the counter. No sweat. So I've got my heat down low because I'm just warming this through. And I did put on an apron so I didn't splash spaghetti sauce all over my clothes, because that is definitely something I tend to do. I'm gonna put a little water in here to get the rest of this out. There we go. And as soon as our pasta is finished cooking, I will put it directly into here. So even though this sauce feels a touch watery, the pasta should soak up some of this excess water that I put in here. I picked up these broccoli cuts because they were the cheapest that I found at my Walmart. 5 minutes in the microwave. Okay, pasta's coming in, and I really hope this fits in this pan. I don't have high hopes. Oh no. This feels a little overflowy to me, but we will carefully stir, try and get all of this incorporated, and then we'll go ahead and plate. It's a ton of food. Look at this. This is crazy. If you have some of that shaky cheese hanging around in your fridge, go ahead and feel free to top this with that. If not, you don't need it. But if you have it, it's a good way to use it up. Grandma's crockpot potato soup. It's budget friendly, it's delicious, it's family and kid tested and approved, and only uses a few ingredients. This recipe is on my website, frugalfitmom.com. It starts with 6 cups of peeled and diced potatoes. I like to use russet potatoes for this because it's what mom did. And if that's the way my mom did it, that's the way I'm gonna do it.
That's the rules that I've just made up.
Because mom's recipes are always better than mine. 1 onion, you could use a cup of onion if you don't jive on that onion flavor. I'm of the camp that if a little bit of onion is good, more is better. 2.5 to 3 cups of water. We want it to be just enough to barely cover the potatoes, so your mileage may vary, and enough chicken bouillon, I have this powder that I'm trying to use up, it's almost gone, to equal the amount of water that you used. I used 3 cups of water in here, so I would use 3 teaspoons of the bouillon, and I'm gonna kind of stir that in and just see how much is in here. It looks like I'm not quite on top of the potatoes, so I may add 4 cups of water today, which means another teaspoon of the chicken bouillon. There it is. As much black pepper as you love.
A fresh pepper.
Now, my mom is a huge lover of black pepper, so there's a lot of pepper in my version. Let me grab that 1 last cup of water. Okay, here we go. So as you can see, there's not that much liquid in here, but never fear. After these are cooked, we're gonna add 1 can of evaporated milk. You don't have to use fat-free, this is just what I had, and our cheese. So this is all you have to add at the moment, lid on, and I'm gonna go ahead and put mine on high for about 4 hours or until the potatoes and onions are cooked. You can also go low, 8 to 10 hours. After a few hours on high, all of my potatoes are cooked. Now I'm going to add 1 entire can of evaporated milk and 10 slices of American cheese. You could also use Velveeta or regular shredded cheese, but like I said earlier, this is what mom did, so this is what we will do. So now we'll just take a fork or a spoon or something and push all of these to the bottom, and I'll add the rest of the cheese slices. Now, I grew up in a house where we had cheese sandwiches a lot. This kind of cheese, American cheese sandwiches. It would be Miracle Whip, 1 slice of cheese, and served on bread. There was no meat. There was nothing else. I told my husband that once, and he had this horrified look on his face. So if you think that's a weird upbringing where you had Kraft Singles cheese bread with nothing else on it but Miracle Whip, tell me if that's normal, or is that like really, really odd. Let me add the rest of my cheese slices. Now that all your cheese is in, we will put the lid back on for another 30 minutes to let all of this melt and come together. And we will finish it off with another serving of fresh pepper.
Grazie.
The cheese is mostly melted. Now, if you want to thicken this up a little bit, you can always take a potato masher to this and mush up the potatoes that are in here. But one of my favorite hacks is to use dehydrated instant potatoes. Little sprinkle of that will thicken this right up. So let's go ahead and, I was gonna say plate a bowl, but that's wrong. Bowl a bowl? Is that weird? Anyway, let's serve up a bowl and add my mom's favorite addition, some more cracked black pepper. This is a dish that takes me right back to my childhood. My mom made this dish all the time. It's incredibly nostalgic for me. And if you haven't tried it yet, clearly you're new to my channel because I talk about this soup all the time. Give it a try. Let me know how your family likes it, and happy eating. All right, let's make some quesadillas with a twist. Now, I spent a little bit of extra money to bump up the flavor and bulkiness of these quesadillas. So it's not just gonna be tortillas and cheese. I have some refried beans here. You can make your own. This video is more about convenience than making everything from scratch, like speed of which you can do things. And one can will really go a long way. So on top of this, I am gonna add a little bit of cooked chorizo. It's really, really spicy. I've also done like shredded chicken cooked with some taco seasoning. But for today, I thought the chorizo was full of flavor. You really don't need very much of it. Some other fun additions can be canned green chilies. Something I also love to do is put on some tortilla chips for some crunch in the center, but I'll leave that out today. And some shredded cheese. You can use whatever cheese you want. I happen to have cheddar today because I'm using it for multiple meals. And I'm gonna show you the trick to making your quesadillas like absolutely hit different. Are the teenagers still saying that? Okay, so here is my quesadilla. This is gonna be so filling. And as far as tortillas, the cheapest tortillas I've seen have been at the Dollar Tree, $1.25 for a full pound of tortillas, much less than my local Walmart. Now the trick is to make these extremely crispy. So I will start with a fat of some kind. It really doesn't matter which fat you use. I do like to save bacon fat and use it for cooking, so I will use that today. Oil is fine, butter is fine. It literally does not matter. Just enough to coat the pan. Look how huge this is. It covers the whole skillet. I like to give it a little swirl just to make sure all of the tortilla is coated. Let it go until the cheese is kind of melty and it's light golden brown on the other side. And make sure you have some salt ready for the flip. Here comes the flip. Now, right away, little sprinkle of salt on the top of that tortilla. That will change your life. Try it, you will not be disappointed. This meal we can call like a mock sloppy joe or a barbecue sandwich with some green beans on the side, but I'm starting with ground turkey. You can use whatever ground meat you like. If you like ground beef, go ahead and use that. I had some in my freezer, so I did not purchase extra ground turkey, but you can absolutely get this roll of turkey that I found at Walmart for just a little over $2. This was a frequent purchase of mine early in my very, very tight budget days, and I would typically use only half the roll and cut the rest with beans, so that's an option as well. And we are really coming in easy with a package of buns from the Dollar Tree and canned green beans. Of all the canned vegetables, the canned green beans are my favorite. They just taste a little salty to me. I love green beans, they're one of my favorites. So if you are team green bean, give me a hands up emoji in the comments. So I picked up this bottle of barbecue sauce for right at $1 on sale at my local store. I don't think I need the whole thing, so we'll do maybe half of it. Barbecue sauce is pretty strong. If I was doing a container of sloppy joe mix, like manwich, I would definitely use the entire thing. Heat up your canned vegetables however you want, microwave, stovetop, whatever, it's all the same. Seriously, simple, easy meals like this are always a hit with my kids. You know, barbecue sauce has a strong flavor profile. They don't have to eat a ton of vegetables if they don't want to. They love the bun. Who doesn't love the carbs at dinner? And then I definitely just dropped some on the floor. So even the dog will have some ground turkey today. In case you didn't know, sandwiches cut in half taste better than sandwiches not cut in half. Increase your serving size. You've turned one sandwich into 2 sandwiches. Ba-bow math. Also, that was a joke. Of course, if green beans aren't your jam, you can do corn, carrots, peas, whatever vegetable you prefer. This is always a winner over here. For our no-bake cheesecakes, we are going to do 1 thing of cream cheese goes into your mixing bowl. I love this recipe because you don't actually have to bake anything, so it's perfect for summertime. I know my knife looks dirty, but I use it for the peanut butter, so it'll be okay. 1 cup of peanut butter, which means you'll have some leftovers for something else. Peanut butter goes on sale in my area all the time. So don't just go and pay like $2 or $3 for a tub of peanut butter. I can see it for $1.50, 99 cents frequently. And 1 cup of just white sugar. I did not include this in my price because sugar I feel like is really a basic ingredient. You don't even need a stand mixer. I just have a hand mixer here, mix until combined. Last ingredient that goes into our filling is 1 entire tub of whipped topping. Now you can get the Great Value brand for under $1, but I stole this name brand cooler from my mom's freezer. Shh, don't say anything. If you don't want to milk your own cows and strain off the cream and whip your own cream with your own sugar that you processed yourself from your backyard of sugarcane, store-bought is fine. This is the finished filling. Look how smooth this is, and I did do a little taste. It's so good. You can add some more Cool Whip if you want it to be a little floofier, but then you'll have a hard time fitting it in your pie crust. Speaking of pie crust, I went with the simplicity of a pre-made graham cracker crust. If you really want to take it up a notch, you can make your own with some Oreo cookies. But for those that don't want to mess with that, this will also work. Don't forget to save this as a lid. And we will stick it back in the fridge. Overnight is better, but 5 to 6 hours will also be perfect. So if you do this earlier in the morning, you can have it that night for dinner. It's the perfect make-ahead dessert. You want to lick this because you're home alone and it's your prerogative? By all means, cheers. It has been a few hours and I am ready for a snack. So we're gonna pull open our peanut butter cheesecake. I can't wait to show you what I found in my pantry. You don't have to do this, but because I already had it, I'm excited to, but you don't have to. Like, how big of a slice? You know, like, I just never know. I'm not using a pie server, just a fork. Oh, look at that texture. And look what I did find in my pantry. I did find Oreos, and this one's broken anyway, so I'm just gonna take this broken one and like do one of those. You know what I mean? Now we have Oreo peanut butter cheesecake. You don't have to do that part, but yum. Oh my gosh. Okay, your mileage may vary when it comes to the prices of the items that I found, but I was able to get those prices at Walmart, at my local stores, and at Dollar Tree here in March of 2023. If you're seeing this video significantly after that, the prices may have changed, up or down. Who's to say? And, you know, based on where you live, that might change things as well. But thanks for hanging out with me in today's video, and until I see you next time, happy eating.